And now the last of our 500s in this round. So they're coming under starters orders. We've got number 19 Dave Mears in this one, so he may be the man to watch. And certainly Dave Mears seems to have gone into the lead behind him as they definitely swallowed up and has gone back to fourth place now. But Dave Mears looking confident out in the front. Behind him is number 7 Nigel Coates, followed by 67 Mick Norton, 152 Chris Bovington, and at the back 70 Phil Ranson. So 19 Dave Mears looks over his shoulder to see how much pressure he's under from number 7 Nigel Coates. And at the back we've got 3 riders going, bit of pressure there for the last place. But at the front, 19 Dave Mears looking comfortable as he takes the checkered flag. Sorry, beg your pardon, last lap flag. And number 7 Nigel Coates doing what he can, captain. And the checkered flag goes out, number 19 Dave Mears just cruising in to take first place. Second goes to 7. Third, Mick Norton, 67. And then quite close at the end, 152 Chris Bovington from 72 Phil Snook. Right, so slow time for that race because really 19 was just cruising, as someone just said, saving himself, saving his bike. So it was 1 minute, 28 seconds, .92. So the result was first 19, second 7, third 67, fourth 152, and fifth 72. So we're back with the sidecars. This time we have got Jerry Wheeler, our genuinely veteran rider in his mid-80s, coming out. And with his son, we have got 69 and 96, both doing very well today. 69 Newton and Bushell leading at the moment, but also 96, the Fumarola brothers, been threatening today. And 72 got a really good start last time, Courtney and Torres. See whether they can hang on to it. We've got a little bit of a delay because Jerry Wheeler's bike, number 8, it's stalled, so they're going to see if they can get it going again. They seem to be having some trouble with this today, although it's beginning to look like they might be pushing it off the track. 69 also seems to have some sort of a problem. It looks like they're having trouble with the gears, 69, trying to engage neutral, it looks like, looking down on them from here. They're frantically fiddling with it. And it looks like they may have won. Sadly, the Wheelers have pulled out. And we're away. So 96 had that inside line, looked like they were going to the lead, but inside of them trying to get through is 72 Courtney and Torres. Always stuck on the road. Now usually Newton and Bushell at the moment at the back. Can they do anything to get the way back through? Absolutely close as they come through, particularly 96 and 72, very nearly touching. But it's still 96, the Fumarola brothers in the lead. 72 pushing around the outside, they're touching as they come here. And 69 not being lost at all. The driver of that one also only 17. So it is impossible to tell who's going to come round here. 72 Courtney and Torres have just managed to get round, but they are not out of the woods yet. So at the moment it's 72. Courtney and Torres from 96, the Fumarolas, and it looks like 72. Well, I'm sideways a little bit more than they intended. So the checkered flag goes out to 72, 96 and then 69. A lovely little race, that one. Right, so that race was 1 minute 28 seconds, 0.09. Quite consistent, those there's times for those old new sidecars, and the result was first 72, second 96 and third 69. And maybe waiting to see if the wheelers can get their sidecar off the track, or we may be getting the thousands out now. Right, so we have the sidecars coming out. This morning when I was talking to number 12, Owen and Farwell, the driver wanted me to make sure that everyone knew that his passenger was a champion. But he was a champion apparently in 2015 for falling out of the chair. Luckily last year, or maybe not luckily, maybe from experience, he didn't manage to do it. But they were saying the first time they rode here, he fell out on the very first corner. So hopefully he will hang on today. And you may remember in the last race, number 12, Owen and Farwell had a misfire. They still managed to keep going, but hopefully they will have got that sorted out now. It might be a little more competitive this time. We've got 333 replacing 689. And of course they had an exclusion. Martin and Gribble they are. At the moment 731 is having to get their bike going. They're relatively new to the sport as well, but said they didn't know how to go slow. Oh, and in fact he's just proved that. So he's gone straight through, and sadly 731 will be excluded for breaking the tape. So when they've got the tapes back up, they won't be starting again. They are a very new sidecar team, and clearly there's an awful lot of pressure on the line. You don't want to break the tapes, but you do want to be out quickly, and it's a lot of pressure at that moment. We have got number 16, Heel and Broomfield, looking very strong earlier today. We've also got 76, Beanie and Bemister on the line. Just approaching is Owen and Farwell. Hopefully their misfire is sorted. And 333, Martin and Gribble. So we're down to the 4. And they're away smoothly. And ever so tight as they go into the first bend. Under a lot of pressure from 16, Heel and Broomfield, and 333, Martin and Gribble. Number 12, Owen and Farwell at the back, but not being dropped yet. So there's pressure being put on our leading crew. Managed to hold it, and still keeping it in second, but bouncing all over the place. 333, got that inside line, pushing but can't quite get there. Just shows how hard they're having to try out here. But he hasn't given up, he's going to try and get round the outside again. Second time. Now we have 16, Heel and Broomfield. From 76, Beanie and Bemister. From 333, Martin and Gribble. And at the back there, 12, Owen and Farwell. number 16 takes the flag, and we have all 4 finishers. Right, the time of that one was 1 minute, 26 seconds, .44. And the winner was number 16. Second, 76. Third, 333. And fourth, number 12. And an absolutely close race. Really, the men out there trying everything. So, we're going on to race 36. Another of the 1,000 sidecars. Again, we have some really competitive riders coming out here. Number 18, Stace and Ivy, doing well today. Before meeting today, they said it was their second time here, and they consider this to be the best track they race. So interesting to see whether they continue to do well today. And nice to know that the really hard work that is put in by the team to get this track right every year is sort of appreciated by the riders when they come from all over the country to race here. So we have 15, Fumarola and Williams on the inside. And they're away. And it looks like, at the moment, 13, Fumarola and Williams have gone into the lead. I think followed by Sturtridge and Truscott. I think back to 4th, Stace and Ivy. So it is 15, Fumarola and Williams. From 13, Sturtridge and Truscott. Number 18, Stace and Ivy moved up to 28, Hicks and Simmons. Still battling away there, second place, number 13. Sturtridge and Truscott being put under some pressure by 18, Stace and Ivy. One lap to go, and Stace and Ivy are trying to get round the outside to get that second position, but 13, Sturtridge and Truscott pushing them out. Sturtridge and Truscott keeping that inside line, and incredibly close, but there was no way they could pass them. And that was a really quick race, almost 4 seconds quicker than the previous one, at 1 minute, 22 seconds, .67. And the results are, first 15, second 13, third 18, fourth 78, and fifth 187. The first of the quad semis, we've got them underway already, and the first one out of the gate was 864 Steve Udy, followed I think by 217 Steve Home, and he's trying everything he can to get around the outside, and he has managed it. So it's Steve Home from Steve Udy, and bringing up the back, and still in the lead, Steve Home, but under pressure from 864, Steve Udy. With 1 lap to go, there's still not a lot in it. Steve Home still in the front from Steve Udy, but I would say that Steve Udy is trying everything, but force wide. Hasn't stopped to go, he's held on to the second place, and probably his challenge was gone at that point. So, checker flag goes out to 217, then 8.64, and finally 12. So the time for that race was 1 minute 21 seconds .62, and the results were first 2:17, second 8.64, and third 12. So we're still scoring points for these quad races. This is the second semi-final though. We've got 98 Jack Hodge, 259 Andy Hoskin, and 805 Wayne Udy. And as they're coming out in the order of who got the most points up to this point, and then they can pick where they want to start. Interesting to see that the inside line for the quads is the favoured one this afternoon. Very good start there from 98 Jack Hodge, but around the outside 805 Wayne Udy, and 259 at the back there. But he hasn't given up, he's coming through on the inside, and as they go across the line, Andy Hoskin and Wayne Udy absolutely neck and neck. Now Jack Hodge is fairly comfortable there. So it's now 98 Jack Hodge, from 259 Andy Hoskin, and 805 Wayne. Hoping for any mistakes to let him get through. But with the last lap flag going out, Jack Hodge looking quite comfortable in the lead. Andy Hoskin still ahead of Wayne. But it's going to be close. He's trying on the outside line. Comfortable win for 98. But as they come round, it's quite tight, but it is 259 from 805. So the time that time was 1 minute 20 seconds .25, and the result was first 98, second 259, third 805. So our highest point scorer in this race is Julian Collins, number 28. He's positioned himself somewhere in the centre of the starting line. Behind him we've got Neil Copestake, number 11. We've got 89, Luke Tuck. And the start that time went to number 11, Neil Copestake. A beautiful start there. It's going to be neck and neck as they come round the first time. 11 is still holding on to it, Neil Copestake. From 89, Luke Tuck. Or in this particular race. So it's still number 11, Neil Copestake. Coming up into second is 28, Julian Collins. From number 89, Luke Tuck. And it looks like 28 Collins trying to get on the outside. Looks like he might manage it with the last lap flag ready. So not such an easy victory for him this time, but he's looking like he's still going for it, and it is. 28 from 11, Neil Copestake. The battle now is there in third place. 89, Luke Tuck from 241. Battle's there. So less than half a lap to go. 28 is looking like he is going to take it again, which he has. From number 11, from 241, 89, and coming in at the back there, number 69. Right, with a time of 1 minute 29.87, The winner of that race was number 28, followed by number 11, third 241, fourth 89, and fifth 69. We should be looking at number 6, Phil Ranson. He's our top scorer here. He's come for the far outside choice. Next to him is Giles Dismore, number 82. And they're away. Phil Ranson trying to get round the outside, and it looks like he's succeeded. But there's a battle going on at the back of this race. So Phil Ranson looking fairly comfortable in the lead at the moment. Behind him is 312 Ian Dudley, 82 Giles Dismore, and 111 our relative newcomer to the sport, So with Phil Ranson looking fairly secure, the battle is really there for second place. 82 Giles Dismore is trying to get there. At the moment, with just over a lap and a half to go. He's not giving up though, he's staying as close as he can. Phil Ranson takes the last lap flag. 312 still there, Ian Dudley in second. Carl Arthur, very respectable at the back for a newcomer to the sport. So it doesn't look like the positions are going to change in this last lap. Phil Ranson, fairly comfortable there, but 312 had been pushed most of the way by Giles Dismore, and 111 coming in. The time for that one was 1 minute 30.27, first number 6, second 312, third 82, and fourth 111, and we should be seeing the 350s next. So 64 and 68 have chosen to come into sort of middle positions on the line. 26 has chosen the inside line, which leaves for Steve Darville the outside position. And certainly 26, confident start there, gone into the lead. Coming round the outside of Chris below, number 68, Chris Mackett, and he's up into second place now. 252 Steve Darville dropped a little, but he's going round. So 26 Luke Harris comfortably in the lead, but they're Chris Malone and Chris Mackett battling away there. Chris Mackett got it at the moment, but Chris Malone knows not to let him get too far away. Chris Mackett gone a little wide. Chris Malone keeping tight, but not sufficient to catch him yet. Closer on this last lap than he was on the previous one, but has he got anything to get through on the last line? Goes to number 26, Luke Harris, then 68, then 64, and just coming round to finish is 242. The time for that one was 1 minute 20.40, and the finishing positions were first 26, second 68, third 64, and fourth 2 for Chris, and we're just waiting for the second 350 semi-final now. So they're on their way out. The first man to be coming out is 886 Phil Rowlands, most points here today so far for this particular race. Then we've got 19 Dave Mears, we've got 27, Gerald Short, and it looks like 280, Steve Dowling hasn't come out for this one. Yeah, we've just had it confirmed. Steve Dowling not coming out. So these three riders all choosing central positions here. And it looks like number 19, Dave Mears, who's managed to get around the outside. In second place is 27, Gerald Short, but he's under some pressure from 886, Phil Rowland. So Dave Mears, number 19, consolidating his good start, looking very comfortable there in the front. Gerald Short, 27. Phil Rowland. Last lap flag goes out, they're still in the same positions, but it looks like 886 is pushing to get up there, and as I say that, he looks down at his bike. Seems to have been stopped there for a moment. So as they come across the line, it is 19, followed by 27 and 886. So the time for that race was 1 minute 20 seconds 96, and the results were first 19, second 27, and third 886. And you may have noticed that Dave Mears, who won that race, is due to be out in the next one, so he may need a moment or two just to return one bike and collect the other, and that might be why we have a moment's pause here now. And while we were talking, we've got the man who has won all of his races so far today, number 22, Richard Andrews. He's come out, chosen to go for a fairly central position. Looks like he is determined to get first, not second this time. We then have number 8, Graham Brown, coming out, and he's choosing a slightly wider position here. Then we have 19, Dave Mears, who just won the previous race, now switched from his 350 to his 500. He's choosing the outside position. We have 120, Dave Hammond, still considering where he's going to go. And we have number 7, Nigel Coates. We have 89, Luke Tuck. 152, Chris Bovingdon. And 72, Phil Snook. So most of these riders, where they have the choice, have chosen middle or further to the outside of the track to start, which means the riders that come out last have to take the inside ones. They're all under starters orders now, and they're away. And it looks like, once again, number 22. In third, we've got number 8, Graham Brown, and in second, we have number 19, Dave Mears. Then we have 120, Dave Hammond. 152. So, front position is looking pretty safe, but the second race is really battling between Graham Brown and Dave Mears. And right behind them is 120, Dave Hammond. Can get through. So the battle is in the second and third races there. And at the back, we have a rider pulling out. But just cruising past us, number 22, Richard Andrews. Pushing behind him though, Now the other riders, you best not ease off too far. So we've had 72 pull out, and I think we've had 89 pull out. But the riders are still going, have everything to fight for. Second flag goes out to 22, followed by 8, then 120. So the 500s are beginning to come out. We're starting with our top scorer in this race is 66 Stephen Green. Looks like he's going for a fairly central position. Then we have 16 Bob Dolman, who appears to be choosing to come a little bit further out, but still fairly central. Then we have 282 Mike Dowling. Again going for a reasonably central position. 69, Sebastian Stefan is coming in as far wide as he's able. 67, Mick Norton, going fairly centrally. And 171, Colin Harris, fairly on the outside. They're coming under starters' orders. And it looks like 66 Stephen Green up there as well. And he's now got the front position from 66. Then it's 171 Colin Harris, 282 Mike Dowling. Bob Dolman, right behind him, 66 Stephen Green. 171 Colin Harris in third, 282 Mike Dowling in fourth. A bit of a battle at the back between 69 Sebastian, 7 Mick Norton. And there is still a battle at the front though. 16 Bob Dolman still ahead of 66 Stephen Green. But Stephen Green isn't definitely away from him. Battle for third place as well. Last lap flag is still out for our last race then, but the checkered flag is going out, and it goes to 16 from 66. But not much in it between them. Then we have 171, 282. And coming in at the end, 69 and 67. And that was a really quick race because those two front men were pushing each other all the way. It was 1 minute 13 seconds .9, and the result was first 16, second 66, third 171, fourth 282, fifth 69, and sixth 67. So we're back with the chairs, the old and new sidecars. So looks like we've only got 3 this time, but we have the 3 that have been giving us an absolutely spectacular display this afternoon. We have 69, won several. We have 96, the Fumarolas, and we have 72, Courtney and Torres. Very determined teams, all wanting to win. 2 very young drivers. It really is anyone's game today, and it looks like 72 has got that outside line and just sneaked in front of 69 Newton and Bushell, and this time at the back of 96 to play for here. So at the moment 72 Courtney and Torres ahead of 69 Newton and Bushell, and they are being pushed still by 96 the Fumarolas. Looks like 72 so can they maintain that gap? And as they come past here, 96 Fumarolas are right on the tail of 69 Newton and Bushel, but at the moment not able to get past. Getting away, and as we say that, absolutely neck and neck. Oh, and they just caught each other here. So, the passenger is up, he's looking good. The driver may have been clipped by his own sidecar, not the others, so obviously we will stop now. He is moving, but we need the paramedics to do their job, make sure everything's all right. Absolutely on the nail, racing there. 69 past him, and they weren't giving it up for a minute. And we've just been informed that as they had done 3 laps, that result will stand. We'll give it to you in a moment. Obviously our priority now is to make sure that everyone is fit and well, but the result will stand, that won't be rerun. Well, really good news. Our young 17-year-old driver, Jake Fumarola, is up. He's walking. I imagine he's quite bruised and bashed, and I would imagine quite shaken, but he is smiling, and that's what we want to see. These men are made very tough, and he is walking back to the pits. So thank you very much to our fleet medics, just making sure that he was fine, and nice to see that there is nothing more serious there. We don't have a time for that race because obviously that wasn't stopped, it was 3 laps. Right, and we're just confirming the result. It is first 72, second 69, and third 96. One more old and new, and the 1000 sidecar final. So there will have to be a little bit of a pause while we work that out, but I would suggest you go nowhere because this racing is absolutely superb today, and the finals are likely to be the highlight of the day. So we have the other Fumarola team, Fumarola and Williams, coming out first. Father to the young man who was just injured, but okay. They look like they're coming for a position somewhere on the outside here. We then have 18, Stace and Ivy, who say that they like this track. They're picking their position somewhat further in. Then we have 13, Sturtridge and Truscott. Local team, they're going for just near the centre. We have number 12 coming out, Owen and Farrell. They've had a few problems with misfires today, but their concern of losing their passenger hasn't happened. They've managed to keep him in. And it looks like we're still waiting, oh no. It looks like we're just having these 4. And it looks like 16, Fumarola and Williams gone into the lead from 13, Sturtridge and Truscott, 18. And at the back, possibly struggling with gears there. So 16, Fumarola and Williams looking quite confident out at the front. Coming under pressure. They're trying to get through on the inside. They cross the line almost neck and neck here, and as they carry on it is still close. Stace and Ivy got that inside line, but Sturtridge. Last lap flag goes out. It's still Fumarola and Williams from Sturtridge and Truscott, and then Stace and Ivy. Owen and Farwell coming round in fourth. They don't have much time, and it looks like they're not going to be able to. It's 16, 13, 18 and 12. Time for that one was 1 minute 19 seconds, .93. First was 16, second 13, third 18 and fourth 12. And of course 16 is heel, not Fumarola. We're having Fumarola out in this one, number 15. So, to correct ourselves, this is 15, Fumarola and Williams in this one. The last one was won by 16. So they're coming out first, they're choosing a fairly central position. Then we've got 78, Hicks and Simmons, who look like they're going to be going just inside them. We don't seem to have 666, Togneri and Dugdale. Don't think they're coming out. But we do have 76, Beanie and Bemister, who were going for a fairly inside line, and 187, Robson coming on the outside. And they're away cleanly. Looks like 76, Hicks and Simmons gone into the lead, but not for very long. Going around them into the lead. So it's 15, Fumarola and Williams, followed by 76, Beanie and Bemister, then 78, Hicks and Simmons, and 187, Robson at the back. So showering us with dirt as they go through. Fumarola looking fairly confident in second place, under some pressure now. 76. Trying to shorten that. They come up to the last lap flag, and they are much closer as they go through this time. 76, Beanie and Bemister on the inside, but 78, Hicks and Simmons trying to get round the outside. They've got it, can they hold it? It could be a very, very tight finish. Comfortable win for Fumarola, but then 78 takes it from 76. And in fourth, 187. for that one was slightly quicker at 1 minute 19.33, and first was 15, followed by second 78, third 76, and fourth 187. Okay, so the quads are coming out for the final time today. It's their final. We've got 217 Steve Hone. He's our top point scorer so far today. Followed by 98 Jack Hodge. They've both gone for a fairly inside line here. We've got 864 Steve Udy, 259 Andy Hoskin, 12 Paul Skelton, and the riders who are coming out last are being forced to take the outside line here, so obviously that isn't the position that they want. Last one to come out is 805 Wayne Udy, uncle and nephew. So they're away cleanly, and it looks like on the inside line, can't quite manage it. 6 bikes out there for the first time today, looking really tight. In the lead we've got 259 Andy Hoskin, and trying to battle up to catch him is 98 Jack Hodge. We have 2 other quads really pushing for it, but it's still 259 from 98, 864, 217. So in third we've got a little bit of jumping up there, but not enough to ruin our view. Last lap flag goes out. It's still 259 Andy Hoskin, but he's gone wide, and it looks like 98 Jack Hodge might go second. Nothing between them as the checkered flag is made ready. Likely to be a very, very close finish here, but it goes to 98, then 259, then 864. An absolutely spectacular end to the day. So, a wonderful finale to the quads today. Their time was 1 minute 22.25. First was 98. Second, 259. Third, 864. Fourth, 217. Fifth, 805. And sixth, 12. And we have now got our top 250 riders coming out for their final. We've already got 28, Julian Collins, who's been quite dominant here in this class today. He's going for a fairly wide outside line to start. Then we've got 6, Phil Ranson, our extra to the programme. Looks like he's going to tuck in just beside him. Then 11, Neil Copestake. Complained he didn't like boarded tracks, but it hasn't seemed to have held him back today. Then 82, Giles Dismore. 312 Ian Dudley, 89 Luke Tuck going for the very outside line here, 241 Jeff Urban, and 111 Carl Arthur doing very well, got into the final. He's just picking where he wants to start. He's going for a fairly central position. They're under starters orders and they're away. 82 got a really poor start there and seems to be having trouble as to pull out. And it looks like going around the outside is number 6, Phil Ranson. Although he hasn't managed it, he's now trying on the inside. And then it's number 11, Neil Copestake, and we've got a faller down here. So the faller, I think the rate, yeah, red flag has gone up. Got a faller, the rate will stop. And obviously that time only about 1 lap in, so that race will have to be restarted. The good news is the rider is moving, but it's still essential that he gets checked over, and our medics are on the way to him. And the faller is 82 Giles Dismore, very similar position to the sidecars earlier. Very grateful to the fleet service for supporting us today. While we've got a moment, for those of you that have been around the sport a long time, yesterday it was 21 years ago since we lost our very, very talented sidecar driver, Phil Pittman, at the Berks Bonanza. He's been gone a long time, but he's certainly not forgotten. And it was with great sadness that we remember it was 21 years ago yesterday. But today we have got 82 up on his feet, walking back, and hopefully soon we will be able to restart that final. Right, so the riders are making their way back to the start line, picking their positions again. And as it didn't run the last one, this will be the full 4 laps again. And they're all under starters' orders, and away smoothly. Another good start for number 11, Neil Copestake, and trying to get round the outside. And as they come round, it is number 6, Phil Ranson from number 11, Copestake. Number 89, Luke Tuck. And then quite surprised that number 28, Collins, who's been our top scorer today, isn't there in the first 2. But it seems like he's going to battle from behind. He's moved up from 5th to 4th, and he's now getting into 3rd. The question is, can Giles Collins have given himself enough time to catch those 2 riders? The last lap flag is being made ready. He's got 1 lap if he's going to do it. So number 6, followed by number 11, Copestake. Gaining on him is 28, Julian Collins. That's 89, Luke Tuck. There's a battle going on at the back as well, but I think the best of what's probably the second place. Trying to get round the outside. Is he going to be able to make it around number 11, Copestake? So 6 has it, and he didn't quite get there, although he was a very valiant try. So that race was finished in 1 minute 26.89. First place went to number 6, second 11, third 28, fourth 89, fifth 241, and 5th 111. So hopefully you had a chance to show your appreciation of their hard riding today. They're going into the middle now. That is the 250s done. We have Dave Mears. He's come out first. He's choosing to go out fairly on the outside. Behind him we've got Luke Harris. Although he's second in the points, we must remember that he didn't complete one of the races or didn't get points for it. So he will be interesting to watch. We have 64 going for somewhere in the middle, Chris Malone. 68, Chris Mackett. 886, Phil Rowlands. We have 27, Gerald Short. And we could be waiting for another 2 riders. Certainly, nope, it looks like they're not coming out. So it looks like we haven't got 242 Steve Dowell or 282 Steve Dowling. This race, they're away cleanly. And it looks like 26 has got that inside line, Luke Harris, but going on, right at the front there. And as they come round, they are right next to each other, but 26 Luke Harris just managed to get ahead of 19 Dave Mears. Then we have 886 So 26 Luke Harris in the lead, but 19 Dave Mears is still pushing him. Battle on at the end, although it looks like for those hasn't given up though, he's still carrying on. So with 1 lap to go, 26 Luke Harris looking quite comfortable there. Followed by 19 Dave Mears. And the checkered flag goes out to 26, followed by 19. Then 886, 68, 27, and hopefully still coming around with 64, Chris Malone. And just a reminder that we are jumping ahead to race 52, the old and new sidecars, because Dave Mears was in that race and he's also in the 500. So to give him a break, we are doing the old and new and then coming back to the 500 final. The time for that race was 1 minute 16 seconds .24, and the results are as follows: first 26, second 19, third 886, fourth 68, fifth 27, and sixth 64. So we are now looking for the old and new sidecars, while those 350 bikes are being taken into the centre for the same reason, so that they can be checked if there is a concern. So we will see how many of the old and new sidecars are coming out. We've had a real battle today between 69, Newton and Bushell, 96, the Fumarolas, and 72, Courtney and Torres. So hopefully we will have at least those 3 and see who becomes triumphant in the final race. Of course, 96, the Fumarolas had that nasty bump, walked away from it, but we will see whether they feel able to come out again or whether they're going to call it a day. Looks like we've got Jerry Wheeler coming out number 8 as well, and we don't seem to have 96, the Fumarolas. So it's right. So it looks like number 8, Jerry Wheeler, has got a few problems with his clutch, so he's going to do a rolling start from behind. But the race here is really between 69 and 72. So 69, Newton and Bushell have that inside line, but going around them in that first bend is 72, I won't give give up though, they will do everything they can to get back there. Stronger and stronger as the day goes on though, looking very confident at the front there. And the wheelers coming around, with the clutch, hopefully going to finish this race. So 72, looking quite commanding there in the front now. Determinedly hanging on to second. So just one lap to go for 72, Courtney and Torres. 69. And in third, 8. So a comfortable this time. Punches the air as he goes through. He's pleased with that one. 72, Courtney and Torres from 69. But coming round, number 8, the Wheelers. Time for that one with 1 minute, 20 seconds. And the finishers were first 72. Second 69 and third 8. And that is their quickest time of the day. So we were saying that we thought that 72 was getting better as the day went on. He actually was. So we should be going back to race 51 now, the 500 final. Hopefully Dave Mears has had a chance to deposit his 350 bike in the middle and go back and collect his 500. In this race, Richard Andrews, 22, won everything today. Beginning of the day, as I've said once or twice already, he was saying last time he was here, he was doing really well, and then in the final, he went back to second. He's determined he's not going to do it today, but we shall see whether he can manage that first. Then we've got 16, Bob Dolman. 66, Stephen Green. 8, Graham Brown. 19, Dave Mears, who we've just seen come second in that previous race. 282, Mike Dowling. 120 and 171. Remember, what they've done so far today doesn't matter. The person who crosses the line first is the winner. So it's all dependent on this.
I'll catch it, Dad. Hang on a minute. Don't sign up for a Is that it, is he? Hey, is that it, is he?
So it's looking like we have all 8 riders, and this is shaping up to be an absolutely cracking end to the solo racing for today. 22 should be the favourite, but as we were just saying, in Grasstrack you never know. So 22 didn't get the start there. It looks like it's 60. But he's got to get past 16 if he wants to win today. There's an enormous battle going on for 4th as well. 282, 8, 120, all there as they disappear into the sun. And we have a corner at the far side. And he's up and moving, but the red flag has gone out. So So that was only 2 laps. That means that we can't take the final result on that. We will have to restart it in a moment when we're ready.
Yeah, he fell off. I know, it's actually a bit of cockatoo. Yeah, it's a bit cockatoo.
You got one back. I've got ice back.
22, Richard Andrews has picked the same one. 16, Bob Dolman, who was leading that race when it had to be stopped, has chosen to come right on the outside this time. So we should have 7 riders out here, and we have, not quite on the line yet, but they're getting themselves into position. We've also got 19, Dave Mears. So here we go again, and away cleanly, and once again 22 hasn't got the start, he's back in third. 22 has moved up to second, but the positions are very similar to how they were in the first attempt at this. So it's 16, 22, 282, Mike Dowling, and it looks to me like 22 running out. Probably an open favourite. So that is very disappointing for that young man. But in the lead, looking strong there, 16, Bob Dolman, followed by 2 Mike Dowling. So 16, Bob Dolman looking convincing in the front, but the battle is going on throughout the rest of the field, even at the back. And 16 might have a convincing lead, but he's certainly not slowing down. Then it's 202, then it's number 8 Graham Brown, 120, 171 and 79. And Grasstrack goes out, 16 Bob Dolman takes the 500 final today, followed by 282, 8, 120 and 171. And desperately disappointing for 22, Richard Andrews, pushing his bike back. Done so well all day. Last time he was here, did well, and then came second in the final. Really hoped to do better today, and sadly, this time, didn't manage to finish. Speculation that it was the chain that he lost. And that was a really quick time, 1 minute, 12 seconds, .87. And the finishers were first 16, second 282, third 8, fourth 120, fifth 171, and sixth 19. And again, they're taking their bikes into the middle just to make sure that they're there if there are any concerns. So we have 1 race to go, and it is the 1000 sidecar final. So once again, the sidecars are coming out in the order in which they've qualified for this. So we've got 16, Heel and Broomfield coming first, choosing a fairly wide line. Then Fumarola and Williams coming. They're going right alongside them. Then we've got Hicks and Simmons, followed by Stace and Ivy, Sturtridge and Truscott. And just doing a quick tour of the track over there and coming to join us soon is 12 Owen and Farwell. This is another race where it is very difficult to predict who's going to come out on top. We know that Heel, Fumarola, Hicks, Stacey, Ivy have all done really well in different races today. Owen been a little bit limited by problems with the bike. So they're under starters orders. And they're away, except for 78, Hicks and Simmons. We've had a bit of a tangle here. Right, so a bit of a false start, red flag goes out, went sideways, and that is passenger Farwell from number 12. They were joking earlier that in 2015 he won the championship for falling out of the chair. So if he had to do it today, doing it right there on the line was probably the least bad place to do it, and he's absolutely fine. So we need to get the tapes back down. The riders will be coming back round to pick their spots, and we will try that again. And just confirmed, all 6 back, classed as an unsatisfactory start, no one to be punished for that. So we will have all 6 outfits back, which is good news because it will add to the competition in a moment. So we've got the sidecars approaching the line for a second attempt. Hopefully 78 won't get left on the line this time. The passenger still has his hand up. No, they're ready. And they're away. And into the front, this time goes number 12, Owen and Dolman. Running, but we've got a red flag out. Red flag out, we have another faller on the far side. The sidecars are realising they're easing off. So, red flag is out. We've got a sidecar at a rather unusual angle, leaning against the fencing on the far side. It looks to me like both driver and passenger are moving, but once again, safety is always our priority. So we will double check that they are safe before we move on. So we're thinking that the passenger managed to lose it there, and then the sidecar went wide into the fence. So we're about to try this one again. Final race of the day. So our top scorer now in this race is Fumarola and Williams. But of course, in the false start and in the stopped race, 12 Owen and Farwell were absolutely on top form. They've had trouble with the bike all day, misfiring, possibly wrong gears. If they've got it right, it'll be interesting to see if they can do it again. And as they go away, it looks like on the inside line is 12 Owen and Farwell, but they are not getting away. Sturtridge and Truscott, 18 Stace and Ivy, and at the back there 78 Hickson Simmons. Coming round in the lead again. Behind them, Fumarola and Williams don't seem to be able to do anything about it at the moment. Then 13, Sturtridge and Truscott, under a little bit of pressure. As they take the last lap flag. 15, Fumarola and Williams don't seem to be able to close that gap. So they have about half a lap to go. And they have, come good at the right time. 15 Fumarola and Williams disappointed with second. 13 Stace and Ivy. 13 Sturtridge and Truscott. 18 Stace and Ivy. And then 78 Hicks and Simmons. So, a really quick time for the chairs on the last race of the day, 1 minute 15.81. And for your last results of the day, first number 12, second 15, third 13, fourth 18, and fifth 78. Third place in the 250s, Julian Collins. And now, second place goes to Neil Copestake.
Very old.
Neil's making his way up here. You might be able to see that the trophies are rather lovely, circular glass engraved, and around the outside they've got a chain on them. I've certainly never seen trophies like that. Look really impressive. So, second place in the 250s goes to Neil Copestake.
Thank you very, very much.
But the winner of the 250s today goes to Phil Ranson. So making his way up the steps now, our 250 winner, Phil Ranson.
I'll start that in, Phil. It's easy. Oh, very sexy.
Right, so congratulations to everybody. Right, so we'll have a chance to take some pictures.
Yeah. Your hands are full. I'll give it to the other two, shall I? Yeah. I've got to try. Thank you. Okay, put that there. There you go, mate.
Yeah, you are back.
And now we'll see who Phil chooses to shake the bubbly over.
Have you ever opened one of them before, Phil?
No, the missus always beats me to it. Point it that way.
I meant for Grasstrack.
Oh, yeah.
I won't say.
You're a bit young to be drinking, Phil.
You're a bit young. You have to try it.
So, just before Phil disappears, you were actually a late entry today, so are you now glad that you've come?
I am very much so, yeah. I kept humming and hawing whether to come all this way, but it's been well worth it. Great organisation, great meeting.
That's lovely. So, are we likely to see you again?
Yeah, why not?
Brilliant, we'll look forward to it. Thank you very much. Right, so that was the 250s. We're moving on to the 350s now, and in third place was Phil Rowlands. So we're just waiting for him to come up the steps. And Phil Rowlands. And in second place is Dave Mears, please.
Yeah, that's the trouble I was having. Yeah, well, your lovely thing was...
So Dave, of course, racing in more than one class today, but the second in the 350.
They get older and older.
Right, thank you very much.
And our winner of the 350 is Luke Harris, please. So the two people we've got up here already are thinking that they should have the champagne because he's clearly not old enough to. Oh, he's going to dispute that idea. So a chance to take pictures of our top three 350 riders here. So it looks like he's not going to give up the bubbly, he's going to have a go at it.
Oh no, here we go. Just something? No. Alcohol free now, after last weekend. After last night. Thank you. He timed that well, didn't he?
Lovely.
Give him some, does it?
Oh, at least they're sharing it out now.
Get rid of the dust he threw at me.
So just before Luke disappears, you had a bit of confusion in the first round, came out in the wrong race and you won it but got no points, so were you worried at that point?
Well, it was a bit of misinformation, but no, you got to put it behind you and, move on to the next one. Now, I know I needed to win, near enough all of them and just do a bit of learning. But yeah, it all come good in the end, so I'm pleased.
So you've had a good day and you've learned something?
Yeah, it's a different sort of track, so you got to use your head a little bit. It's not like a normal grass track you go to these days, so it's a technical track in a sense, but yeah, it rode really nice towards the end.
So you've had a good day and we might see you again soon?
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know, it's a bit of a trek down here, but maybe one day we'll come back down here and have another go.
That'd be brilliant, we'd love to see you. Thank you very much. Right. Right, and so now we move on to the 500s, and in third place was Graham Brown. Still got the energy to run after all that racing today.
Two at a time up the steps.
So, third place, Graham Brown. And in second is Mike Dowling, please. And so in second place, Mike Dowling. But the winner in the 500s today was Bob Dolman.
It starts when it's they save it to last.
Yeah, I should have come up here this morning. I should have gone wider.
Next time.
Next time, I'll do it next time as well. It's good. Yeah.
So congratulations to Bob Dolman,
Thank you very much.
winner of the 500 today.
And that one. Right way round. Yeah.
They got over that head.
He did it for years.
And a chance to take some photos of these three.
You got me, Phil?
Come in then. Come in, boss.
What's your best side? First time I've been on the top step, this is.
Right,
You've got some champagne. You're off, are you?
Get wet.
I know, don't want a drink. Who wants a drink? I'm fine.
Hey, never heard that before.
So you're all looking what I'm going to do, don't you? And I know what you're thinking.
Great man.
That's the only drink I've ever had.
Where's he gone? Graham. Right.
Right, so just before you go, Bob, I think this was your first time down here?
Well, I was down in Cornwall about 25 years ago, I think in the Masters, many years ago, with the likes of Will James, Congressman. Yeah, it's the first time on this track. Heard a few stories. The later few weeks, more pluses and minuses. After practice, to be honest, it wasn't my track, but the club's worked hard, so I thought, no, proceed with it and push on. Really, every race was learning. You've got different soil conditions here than in Kent and abroad, so I was looking, kept my eyes on the starts, changing my gearing as I went. After my third heat, I thought I made the wrong decision, but after 2 laps I got tired, then found a different line, and I thought, no, I'll carry on with the gearing, and then, I could have made that outside. So the semi-final proved, yes, altered my style a little bit, which a bit of leg trailing, like Will James used to do, and
I just took the gamble. I thought, it's got to be win or lose, and there's only one winner. So I thought outside gate to the corner, because I had to be on the outside dirt. I was a bit concerned about that straight up there, because the balls are coming up a bit fast because of grip. There's a large hole over there. I pinpointed. If I hit the hole on the outside, I'd turn the bike a bit easier, coming tight to here, and I could drift around this corner. So that was the plan. Made a brilliant start in the final, and I thought after 2 laps before the red flag came out, I thought, this is possible. And then the red flag came out, and I thought, oh Christ, I've got to do it all over again. So anyway, I thought, okay, I saw Richard changing the wheel. He had a bit of luck, he had a punch, I think the wheel collapsed. And okay, right, I was confident I could make a start. Made a really good start. The wheel didn't touch the ground, I don't think, till the first corner. And I was leaning, they had contact. And then, got back in the rhythm again. And I could see a few people putting their arms up, saying I had room. I couldn't see Richard, and I saw Richard pushing his bike back. And that was the worst mistake. I knocked off the motor, and then I was in more trouble than worse, really. So, and then I was quite close to the boards here, but yes, big relief.
Well, I mean, we've certainly enjoyed watching you today, so I'm hoping that you've enjoyed the actual racing as well.
I think after you come past the finishing post, you always enjoy it if you're in first spot. But the weather's been good, and I think it's put another stamp on the board for the Cornish Grasstrack. And like I said, it's a triumph for all the people who worked hard at this club to bring it. They didn't have a very good start when they started off, but it's proof that it's a fast track. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but you've got to adapt your style to ride it.
Well, thank you ever so much, and thank you so much for giving us those words and telling us about your day so we can see it from the perspective of a rider. Thank you, and well done. So thank you to everyone who has taken part today with racing. Obviously, it is you that make the excitement. Thank you to the spectators that have stayed and that have come, and thank you mostly to all the officials that have worked not just today, but in the weeks running up to this, and hopefully we'll see you all again here soon.